Let's make it a good day.
Coming up today, more days with Drew. Find out if Drew Barrymore's talk show is coming back for a second season. Plus, another side of the Sharon Osbourne drama. It's all in the hot dish. Also ahead today, Dax Holt is chatting with one of the big stars from Bravo's Shaws of Sunset. He'll join us live with the 411. And it is always a great day when she's on our show. Madeleine Smithberg is back, and she's mad in the kitchen. Plus, you know we're going to get another great and hysterical behind-the-scenes story from her time working on Letterman. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Heron Lake. Good morning, Crookston. Good morning, Chisholm, and good morning, Byron. And welcome to the Jason Show, and good morning to all of you. I'm Jace. Please welcome my sidekick sister from another mister and Subway Sandwich Artist of the Month, Kendall Mark, everybody.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good job listing off that diverse group of cities.
Very diverse.
All aspects.
Helped by executive producer Jeff.
Yes.
I've never mentioned any of these cities in my hello.
Nope.
No, not the Heron Lake, the Crookston, the Chisholm, or the Byron.
Nope.
They're all brand new to the little welcome.
I wonder if I've been to Byron.
I've never been to any of these cities I just listed today. I need to go.
Need to go.
Maybe, yeah.
We'll take a road trip.
None of them. None of them. How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's Thursday.
It is. One more alarm clock to the weekend. Looking great in the powder blue. You matched the set today. You basically just kind of blend in. I always love that.
Yeah, it's just like I'm like a moving head.
That's right.
With hands.
We got a letter about you.
I really don't like when you give me surprises on air.
I know you do. We got a letter. Well, we get letters every day, and some of them are great, and like some of them are not. Like the guy that asked yesterday, hysterical. He goes, "Why is your hair greasy?"
Greasy?
He says it looks
Specifically
greasy.
greasy.
Different. Yeah. No, it's just growing
The
out.
light, and it's growing out.
I like my hair, and I don't care. Anyway, okay. So here's the email, or I'm sorry, here's the handwritten letter. You ready, Kendall?
I don't know if I should.
This is real. This is not a bit. Dear Jason Mailbag, we would like to know why Kendall, underlined, why Kendall Mark, using your whole name, has to stand up during your show.
Oh, this.
I have the perfect chair for her. It's a dark wood, padded seat, 25 inches off the floor, footrest at 7 inches off the floor. Nice condition, free donation to your show. Love, Bill. Right there.
Bill?
Now, how nice is Bill?
I love the detail work you put into that.
Bill knows where...
Right
Thank
here,
you, Leo.
7 inches off the ground.
Okay, will you now say it again for the 100th so we can stop getting emails about why you stand and I sit?
Well, that wasn't an email. It was a handwritten letter.
You know what I mean.
Okay. I appreciate it, Bill, and everyone else. I know that you're worried about me. Also know that everybody who works here, we love each other.
Yeah.
A. B. I prefer to stand. I like standing. Even right after I had knee surgery, I was like, it's more comfortable with my bad knees, and it gives me more energy.
Yes.
So, I prefer it. Thank you for your concern. Don't need to be, though.
And I sit because the show's named after me.
This is why we get emails. This is your fault.
I do it to myself. I get emails for myself.
I try. I give this really nice speech, and you're like, and I sit here because it's my show. That's why people email.
You know I love you. No, it's just a production choice. It's
It is.
You know, it's like
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
And honestly, when I sit as a girl in a dress, there's a lot of different wardrobes. I can't wear them, so it's easier.
Very true. But again, how nice is Bill?
I know.
See, this is the kind of email or letter I like. He doesn't just have a question, not even a complaint, a criticism. He offers a solution.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
Details.
He wants to give us a chair. We should actually get Bill's chair just for the heck of it, just to have you sit on it for a day.
It sounds comfy.
We'll
Cushioned.
Tyler, can you go to Bill's house, please, and go get, thank you, buddy. Bill, give us your address, and we'll come get that chair from you.
He literally just left, so we're going to need that address real quick.
We're going to need that. He'll be back. Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the hot dish. Roll it, Leo. Let's eat.
Are you combing your hair with hot dish?
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, the guy says my hair looks greasy, so hey.
Full hot dish.
I love people. Let's get started. Sharon Osbourne sat down with Entertainment Tonight's Kevin Frazier for, and not being sarcastic here, for a hard-hitting interview. And Sharon explained why she got so mad during that episode of The Talk. Now, I will tell you, this is a new aspect of the story. And I think, to be fair, we should roll it. Look at this.
We agreed we would never surprise each other with questions if we thought the other one hadn't been prepped. And we said we will never put ourselves in this situation again where we set each other up. So we all agreed as women, got your back. I finished saying what I'm saying, and then Cheryl asked me these questions, which I didn't know, and they were written questions, and then Elaine's reading her questions.
Stand up for anti-racism.
And I'm like, I've been set up.
Don't try and cry, because if anyone should be crying, it should be me.
And I went like, how dare you all do this to me? I'm your sacrificial lamb. So in the break, I'm like, talk to me, Cheryl. Talk to me. What is going on? She wouldn't. I lost it even further.
Okay, so here's the deal with that. That interview, and I would encourage you, no matter where you are on the story, to watch the whole thing, because it is her side of the story. And I've been hard on her. But this, we learned a few things. First of all, what we didn't play there was she said that those written questions that Cheryl Underwood had and the new other co-host, my apologies, Elaine had. Sharon is claiming those questions were demanded by executives at CBS. Not the showrunner, not the producer, Jeff, in this case.
Right.
But by executives at the network. If Sharon is right about that, it still doesn't absolve her from her behavior with Cheryl. She's apologized. But it does add a layer to this story that we didn't know before. Because Sharon said in that interview too, she was running up the stairs late and the showrunner came up to her and said, hey, we should reintroduce the Piers Morgan thing. And also you should know, Sharon, one of the cast members don't agree with you. And Sharon's like, that's fine. And then went on to do the show. But Sharon didn't realize she saw Cheryl reading from a card. And then when she asked, she found out, allegedly, that executives had written these questions, which goes against the beginning of that soundbite. Sharon said that all the hosts made a promise that they would never kind of ambush each other with questions because they had an incident in February that made everybody uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So on that aspect of the story, I can see where Sharon is upset. I want to say one more thing before we move on, and I want to hear what you have to say. I received an email yesterday from a gentleman, and we had a nice back and forth. And the gentleman was disappointed in me, and I love that word, but disappointed in me because he goes, oh, now, Jason, you're joining a cancel culture. I got to tell you, this is a warning flag to me because I'm not going to play this game. And I rarely get serious, but here's the thing. I don't like cancel culture. I think that, you know me, I think what is lacking in a lot of these, I don't even like that term, the cancel culture conversation is the lack of nuance. There's a lot of gray areas in a lot of these so-called cancel culture conversations. That angers me. And just because I'm, from now on, criticizing a celebrity, don't play this, oh, now you're canceling. That's not accurate. And I'm not going to tolerate that. Because that's not what we do here on the show. That's not my intent. And we're going to be doing Hot Dish until the day the show is canceled or I'm done. And you can't lay that on me. I'm not going to accept that because that's not what we do here. Me criticizing Sharon Osbourne is just criticizing a celebrity, which I've done for 5 years. I just want to make that point because I have a feeling now that cancel culture is the hot term, we're going to be hearing that a lot more. We don't do this on that. We don't do that here. What did you want to say on this one?
I think you hit most of the points. When you watch that, you learn a lot of things that you didn't know before. And one thing that she says is that, according to her, is that CBS obviously aired that interview with Harry and Meghan and Oprah. And so they had a big play in let's not criticize anything that has to do with that, like Piers Morgan did. She works for CBS. So that to her was also part of the conversation of, I've worked for you for 11 years.
Yeah.
Why would you make me your sacrificial lamb?
Yep. And let me be, crystal Carrington clear. Sharon's behavior towards Cheryl on live TV was unacceptable.
Right.
I want to be very clear on that. but I think it's important even on a goofy show like this to present all sides, and that's what we've done now. The Talk remains on hiatus as they investigate claims of racial insensitivity and a toxic work environment. Let's move on. Next in the dish, another elimination on the new season of The Masked Singer. Now, before we show you who went packing, roll it, Leo. Spoiler alert. We don't want emails. The Phoenix was eliminated. Caca! Some of the guesses included RuPaul, Laverne Cox, and Jonathan Van Ness from Queer Eye. We'll show you a little bit of the performance and then the reveal. Look.
Stop, make it pop, DJ blow my speakers up. Tonight I'ma fight till I see the sunlight. Tick tock on the clock, but the party don't stop. Oh, oh, oh.
Show us who you really are. Take it off. Take it off. Olympic gold medalist, TV personality, and author.
Jenny McCarthy got it right. Guessing Caitlyn Jenner. Wow. Who knew? Oh, look at the reaction.
I know.
Again, the best part of the show is when they have these outlandish guesses of people that will never, ever. Oh my goodness, it's O.J. Simpson. No, come on.
I know, it's the best.
Seriously, come on.
You never know who's gonna come out of there.
It's Janet Reno. No, Janet Reno's not gonna be on.
But maybe.
Yeah.
You never know. Caitlyn Jenner, yeah, and I think we just talked about this too. They guessed RuPaul.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you've heard RuPaul sing. RuPaul can sing.
Sing, yeah.
Caitlyn was kind of just like going through the motions, but hey.
Former Vice President Al Gore. I think that's who it is.
A Phoenix.
An inconvenient singer.
Dumbledore.
Yeah, exactly. We have a lot more to come. We'll be back right after this. Stay with us. Two special guests, one big show. Coming up next, our buddy Dax Holt is here for his weekly visit, and today he's bringing us the dish on his chat with the big Shaws of Sunset star. And then, for the rest of the hour, get ready to cook and laugh. From Mad in the Kitchen, Madeleine Smithberg returns with the recipe for the best eggs ever. Oh. And another great behind-the-scenes story from Late Night with David Letterman. Laughing a lot today when we return.
Aaron, Louisa H. wants to know, how surprised were you by Aaron Rodgers' engagement to Shailene Woodley? Did you have any idea that they were dating?
He kept that undercover. Wow, he really did. There was kind of rumors, I think, that they were dating, but I had no idea. And then he unveiled it at his MVP speech. So surprised everybody, really kept that quiet.
What did you think of the videos of Tom Brady getting wasted celebrating in your hometown? It's kind of fun to see him letting loose, right?
It. Yes. I mean, who's better, Tequila Jen or drunk TB12? I don't know.
Right.
I thought it was the best ever. I thought what was so cool about it is he just looked like a little kid. I mean, Jen, no offense, he had way better balance than you, but he was just kind of walking off the boat with a big smile. It was awesome to see.
We love Erin Andrews. She's great.
Big love.
Big love, obviously. Our hot dish continues now with our Insider to the Stars. Please welcome back to the show the co-host of the Hollywood Raw podcast, the great and talented Dax Holt. Good morning, Dax.
Good morning, Jason. How you doing today, man?
I'm good, my friend. How are you?
Doing good. Can't complain. Can I give a shout out to some of your fans, though, real fast?
Absolutely. Yeah, we love the people watching.
I have to say, it's a Facebook group that gives us so much love. It's the Jason Show Fan Club Facebook group, and they are constantly tagging me in comments. And I just want to say thank you to Phil and Cindy and Terry and Susie and Kathy and all of you guys for all your constant love. And they are your biggest fans out there, Jason.
They're the best. That Facebook group, the Jason Show Fan Club, and Phil leads it, and Jace, and they're all fantastic individuals. They watch us sunny days, rainy days, snowy days. There could be vultures eating people. They would still be watching. Yeah.
Big love for them.
Big love. Let's start off. You had Gigi from Shaws of Sunset on. Now, for those who don't know, in the Bravo world, kind of give a background of who she is, Dax.
Yeah, so Gigi, she's probably one of the most standout characters on Shaws of Sunset, which is obviously a huge Bravo show. It's been going on for many, many years now. But Gigi, you know, her storyline has been like this party girl over the years, but now she is a new mother. She's kind of transitioned into this new phase of her life. She's also dealing with rheumatoid arthritis and this like debilitating pain that she is constantly in. And we talked to her about everything, Jason.
Like nothing was off topic? Nothing off limit?
Here's the thing about Gigi. She's one of those people that's like, don't care, ask me anything. So she is a fantastic guest. So, you know, we started talking about her arrest because, like, being the party girl, she's been arrested numerous times. We just said, okay, so you've been arrested all around the world. Where was your scariest arrest?
Okay, Dax, have you ever had a guest so far in the history of the Hollywood Raw podcast where you've had to ask that question?
No, it was a first for us. But she was really open. She said, you know what? When I think back, the scariest one was in Turks and Caicos. She said that her and her friend were like at the airport. They were getting ready to get on a plane. And she started cussing. And I guess one of the police officers in the airport came over and said, ma'am, you need to stop cussing. And she was like, no, I don't care. Like, we're late. We got to do it. And she kept cussing. And they arrested her. She's like, I got arrested for cussing in Turks and Caicos. And she said it was the scariest moment of her life when she got taken in and booked. And that to her, she recounted the whole thing on the podcast, but she said that was a very, very scary place to get arrested.
I'm speechless. I just don't, I guess, wow. Okay. You're going to get arrested in Turks and Caicos. Yeah.
Don't cuss over there, FYI. And then we got into the topic of, you know, her rheumatoid arthritis, and just this pain that she constantly lives in. She smokes medical marijuana, but she's like, it's basically saved her life because she was like, I couldn't function on a daily basis any longer. And she's like, they've been giving me medication. We've been trying everything. And she's like, it's the only thing that keeps her mentally sane because of how much pain she is constantly in. So we talked about that for a little while, which is really interesting because you don't ever know what other people are struggling with on a daily basis.
Yeah, yep.
And this is the thing that, you know, she may smile on TV, she may smile on a red carpet, but this is what she is constantly faced with.
Dax, one quick question for the Shaws fans out there. Did she mention Reza and MJ at all?
Oh, yeah. She talked about Reza, MJ. We got into the cast and, you know, how she met these people, what they're like on when the cameras stop rolling, and that they all knew each other before even filming the show. Like, they were just a group of friends.
Yeah.
And Ryan Seacrest ended up kind of like finding them, realizing that there was a really good storyline here and casting this show. And they said it just all happened really organically.
By the way, before we go, Disneyland's opening for California residents. Dax, are you going?
Oh, heck yeah. Well, it's going to take a while because I think literally the first 2 months got sold out immediately.
Yeah.
And but I'm very excited. I think, you know, I live in Anaheim where a lot of the people around me work at Disneyland.
Yep.
And so they have all been out of work. They've been trying, finding side gigs and other stuff. And so there's just like a sense of relief because Anaheim was just surging money over the last year. None of the hotels, restaurants, no one was going to them because Disneyland was closed. So it's like everyone's really, really excited right now.
Absolutely. Thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
The Hollywood Raw Podcast. Find it at Sam Goody or wherever you find your podcast. Dax is absolutely right, and I try to give him a shot whenever we can. Our Facebook group, the Jason Show Facebook group, they are just the kindest people. They never criticize the hair. That's all I need. That's all I need. Next on the dish. CBS is not giving up on Drew Barrymore anytime soon. The company just announced they renewed her talk show for a second season. Drew launched the show in the middle of the pandemic, and the top brass at CBS say they've been impressed. Drew called the show her dream job. Now, the show admittedly struggled out of the gate, but saw ratings bump from November to February, and that's when, about the same period, our buddy Ross Matthews joined as a kind of sidekick. So maybe you can attribute it to Ross. I must be honest, you know me, doing this show is hard enough. I know this whole team knows you don't want to kick other shows because by the grace of God. I will just say, though, I've tried so many times to watch it, and it's just not my jelly or jam. It's just not my thing. And I love her. I love her.
I just wonder if there's just not something else that they can put in that spot with that same vibe. And I'm being serious if they think that.
You can direct your emails to Kendall at, no, I'm just joking. No, I
mean, I have the same feelings. I really like Drew on a personal
I do too.
level. Like, we're friends. Like, they're fun. But the show, there's something that's just a little bit lacking for me if I'm going to spend an hour of my day watching something.
Yeah, I've tried, and I've given it, well, I've been watching off and on every so often since September. Because I always say it takes shows a long time to get its footing. We're still trying. It's year 5, you know?
Has it only been 5 years? I'm kidding.
Well, listen, Sister Soldier, you've only been here for 2, and that could end right now. Like, we could...
Every day.
Tyler's 40 steps away. I could just have right there.
Bill, I'll take that chair. I'm just gonna put myself over here.
Next in the dish, Jerry Seinfeld was on Fallon last night. Jimmy talked about the first time he had to follow Jerry on stage and then met him afterwards. Look at this.
Hey, and I was just so nervous. I probably didn't even make eye contact with you. And I said, I just had to follow you at the Improv and blah, and you crushed, but I did okay. I ended up doing an impression of you, and I got up and you go, that's good for you. You have to learn how to follow people. It was kind of great advice going like, that's going to be part of this ride.
Well, because there is really no advice. That's the kind of weird thing about stand-up comedy is like, nobody can help you. It's like being a newborn calf. The cow can't say, here's how you walk. It's just like, figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
And that was the advice. I went up to Rodney Dangerfield the same way you came up to me when I was a kid at Catch a Rising Star, First Avenue and 78th Street. Yeah. And I went up to him and, you know, he didn't know who I was. I was just in the bar standing there. And I go, could you give me some advice about how to be a comedian? And he went, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Or you won't.
Jerry, or you won't. Jerry has a new book out. It's called Is This Anything? And includes all of his bits over 45 years.
For real? How big is that thing?
Well, you know, Joan Rivers historically famously had a card catalog of all of her jokes put in categories. Like, when, you know, jokes about ladies, jokes about gay guys, jokes about, yeah, she had them categorized. So her daughter, I think whoever controls her Twitter account now literally just posts Joan jokes. She has, it's great. It was in her famous New York apartment. She kept all of her jokes. Yeah, she hand wrote all of her jokes down.
That's what's behind this, isn't it? All of your handwritten
behind that
jokes.
wall?
Yeah.
It's all the best one-liners we've ever had on the show. And a coffee maker.
It's a small, very small filing cabinet.
I think it's time. Kendall, you got to leave. That's the 5th sassy. I'm sorry, you're going to have to leave now. Tyler, can you come in for a second, please? Just for this. Tyler, can you come over here, please?
Oh, my gosh.
We're going to replace now
serious?
Kendall. Okay, he literally just walked in front of the camera. Can we get Kendall back, actually? Bye, Tyler.
Learn a thing or two.
You know what's funny about Tyler walking in front of the camera? He's the guy responsible for not allowing people to walk in front of the camera.
So good. Can't even make it up.
Still ahead. See, we try to replace you and it doesn't go well. You're irreplaceable, my dear. Still ahead. She's one of our favorite guests. Madeleine Smithberg will join us. She's cooking up some eggs in the kitchen. Well, and she says these are the best eggs ever. And she has another great Letterman story. My buddy, when we come back. Back in a moment. For the rest of the hour. Come on, Tyler, walk in front of the camera. Welcome back, everybody. Our next guest has become a pandemic sensation. I love saying that. And we love watching her cook and hearing her stories. Please welcome back to the show the host of Mad in the Kitchen, the pandemic sensation, the COVID cutie herself, Madeleine Smithberg. Hello, my darling.
I love COVID cutie. I'm going to use it.
I love it.
You look great, hubby. Did you have a haircut or a vacation?
I did. I had a vacation and a haircut.
I could tell the second you came up on my monitor here in my kitchen. Jason had some R&R and a little bit of. So this morning, I'm getting ready to be on your show, and it's early here, but I do it for you because I love you. And the power went out in my house, and all we could get back was one circuit. So I did my hair and makeup in the dark.
Oh, you look good. You can't tell. You look beautiful.
I had a little bit of a moment of, let's say, anxiety.
Yeah.
It was like
I do love it. Every time we visit with you, there's a new element to your kitchen set. I now see a Mad in the Kitchen floor mat with the Mad in the Kitchen matching pink towels on the stove. I'm loving it.
There you go. It's coming along. Always another flourish, always another touch. We got the pink cutting board. That may be new since last time. It's really pretty. We're getting, we have the pink light, Jason.
I saw that. Look at that.
The pink light is a really nice touch. And a person has, people just keep on coming out of the woodworks. I never know which camera I'm on. The next thing I'm going to get is tally lights. But someone's making me a sign. Like, he makes signs for restaurants, and they're making me a Mad in the Kitchen sign that's going to have a pink light in it.
You are so big. I don't know. Okay, speaking of big and best, you're making the best eggs possible. The best eggs ever.
I think I called them the best eggs ever.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the world's best stuffing, but, eggs are this thing that I make on the weekends. I don't know if you know them. They're round and they come from chickens.
Yes.
And you just can run out of ideas. Like, I'm the queen of the frittata. I'll do that for you sometime. I make great scrambled eggs. I do egg scrambled or this and that. But this is something I came up with that I think really broke through. And I think it deserves the name that I've given it, and I'm going to tell you about it. So basically, it's eggs, but you saute shallots, garlic, and a little bit of red pepper. And this is the Burlap and Barrel silk chili. It's like a ground red pepper, but it has a lot more complexity, like a fine wine, because those Burlap and Barrel people know what they're doing. And then you take that and you saute it. I don't want to burn my hands because that's been an issue for me.
It has been an issue.
And I like to do it. And you basically saute the onions and the garlic and the red pepper and a bunch of rosemary, which this one happens to be from my garden. And I just pull off a stem, hold the top, and pull it down. And that is how I do that. And then you heat this on a really high flame and make it nice and crispy. So this one isn't quite as crispy as I'd like it to be, but we have time concerns. But you're essentially making a bed of spinach.
A bed of spinach.
Who wouldn't want to sleep in a bed of spinach?
If you can't have a water bed, a bed of spinach works just fine.
Exactly. Memory foam is okay, but spinach is greener and very comfortable. So you really want a hot flame, and you want it to get nice and crunchy and crispy. Probably another 3 minutes more than this, and then you're going to crack, or I'm going to crack, 4 eggs onto it. Now, when I did it for my video, I messed up and I cracked 2 of the yolks. So I need a drum roll right now because I'm going in and I'm cracking the eggs. But I'm just going to give it a little tap. I did it! 1 down. All right, 2. Come on, Madeleine. Oh, yes! 2! I'm batting, what am I batting? 500.
500.
Yes!
3! 1 more.
All right, this is it.
4.
Yes!
You did it!
Yes! Yes! Oh my God, Amos, Papa! That means we have a pope. I don't know why I just said that. So this is shaved Parmesan, and you just let your eggs cook, and you just smother them.
Okay.
You smother them in shaved Parmesan. And then you add a little salt and pepper. And guess what? I have a new pepper. It's Asar. I'm going to go with Isar. Black pepper from Burlap and Barrel. It's so delicious. Has so many. It's like a fine wine of pepper. And I'm very generous with the pepper. And then I've got my broiler on, and I have my my rack set 12 inches, 10 inches. Well, it's actually crooked, so it's both. Below the broiler, and you just pop the eggs under the broiler for about 3 minutes, and the eggs continue to cook, and the cheese melts. And then what you do is you take a little bit of bread, and you know about me that I love the painting. I'm very
let's do this. You keep painting. Can we see the finished results on the other side of the break, Madeleine?
Yes.
Let's do that.
Absolutely can.
Okay, they're going to cook in the oven. The perfect time for a commercial break for 3 minutes on the other side of our 3 minutes.
Kismet.
It's Kismet. It's television. We'll be back more with Madeleine when we return. Back in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. We are continuing our time with my buddy, Madeleine Smithberg. And Madeleine, oh, look at that. Is that the finished product?
That's the finished product. Come on. I'm going to start doing brunch in my living room. I'll have a line out the door. Fortunately, we don't have any electricity, so I'll have to have candles.
Did you put the egg on top of that delicious bread?
You could. When you eat it, you would put the egg on top of the delicious bread and just crunch into it. And I would do that for you now, but it would mess up my lipstick for the next 2 segments. So.
Oh, well, there's a picture. We don't need it. We have that. Oh, look at that, Madeleine.
Isn't that gorgeous? And Jason, it's so delicious because just the spinach is crunchy and the eggs are runny and the cheese is melting. And it's just a savory, and then the baguette brings it over the top. Because face it, you could put wet paper towels on a baguette.
And it would be delicious.
I would eat it, yeah.
Before we get,
I really would.
Madeleine has an event we want to talk about, but before we do that, my mother, the Dar, is an eagle-eyed viewer, and she noticed, Madeleine, that you have our picture on your refrigerator. Is that me behind?
Oh, come on in. Come on in. I'm getting a color printer, but there you are with Hoda and Jenna and Helen Raptis of AM Northwest. You guys are my posse, and I do all of your shows. I'm booked on the Today Show again. They just moved it from Wednesday to Tuesday, and I'm making matzo balls. So I've been interviewing all of the relatives on my dad's side of the family, and there's a lot of conflicting advice, but I've been working with it. It's like, apparently seltzer is very controversial, but I'm going to go with it because that's what my Nana Lucy did. And yeah, so I'm making chicken soup and matzo balls, and it'll air next Friday for Passover. And then, yeah, whatever. So let me tell you about Mad Marchness. This is my absolutely ridiculously silly and yet hilarious event. It's a live event, and it's we're calling it a Cajun cook-off, and the real thing is I'm being taught to make jambalaya by this incredible Cajun Creole chef in an outdoor kitchen. And we have a band, but we're calling it Mad Marchness, and we're putting a basketball overlay. And my son, who's a sports nut, has been writing all the sportsy language, and he did the open. I have a promo. I don't know if
we do. We're going to roll it. Let's look at the promo, and we'll talk about it on the other side. Roll it, Leo.
Live from Seattle, it's Mad Marchness, a Cajun cook-off. Matt in the kitchen's own Madeleine Smithberg faces off against Cajun Creole chef Jameel Johnson of Jameel's Big Easy in what many people are calling the most exciting thing that happened to jambalaya since shrimp. Saturday, March 20th, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube and Facebook.
I love, Madeline, I love the slow-mo, you throwing rice into the celery, pepper into the air.
It's been so much fun, and it's so friggin' silly. But we have all these people are helping us. And, for example, my control room is right in the Industrial Light and Magic in San Francisco. So my control room is next to wherever they're editing Star Wars. Like, do you understand that? There's an amazing motion graphics guy in London, did those great graphics with the tongs moving in. There's another man in London that's building me a brand new website so that I can sell Mad in the Kitchen merch, like rugs and dish towels and you know what else? Tongs.
Tongs.
And and then we're plowing forward with this Zoom cooking business.
Yeah.
So that will be all on the website, which will be madinthekitchen.com. And you can watch all my videos and buy things and sign up for classes. And
yeah, we're gonna put a link attached to this segment on Facebook. More with Madeleine when we come back. Letterman stories. You know we have to have one. This one's a good one. Next, stay with us.
All right, and show us now the application of how that works. Show us how the electric clothing helps, how you make them, what do you do with them?
May I quickly show you the power sources? Tonight we're going to be using a mains transformer.
All right.
A German product which works on European and on American voltages.
All right, good idea. How much power is being generated there?
Well, it provides a 12-volt supply, which is absolutely safe. There is no possibility of shock. And this will simply check whether the power is present. And it clearly is.
We have some AC.
We have a pair of heated gloves, and they've been running for the last few minutes, and we've got a thermometer in here.
They're toasty warm.
Would you like, David, to feel this glove?
Would I?
Just put a hand in. Put your left hand.
Left hand in. Oh, how okay.
I should really have shown you.
How long has this been on?
Oh, about the last 5 or 10 minutes, I suppose.
Just slip that on. Well.
Jeez! No,
I hit a wire. I hit a wire.
I'm awfully sorry. I'll tell you what.
Oh, welcome back. That's a clip from Late Night with David Letterman and Captain Maurice and his heated clothing. Our guest, Madeleine Smithberg, knows exactly how that happened, and she joins us again with her best eggs ever. Okay. Okay, Madeleine, you booked him, didn't you? That's obviously.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He is. I kind of forgot about him when you booked me. I go, well, what am I going to talk about? I'm running out of stories. I'm going to have to tell Jason about like when my kid was a baby, which is not as interesting to anybody. But then I remembered Captain Morissette, and so this guy, you know. I don't even know how I found him. There was no internet. Like, I somehow found him, and he was in London, and we flew him over, and the guy shows up, and Jason, he stinks like garlic, because he's a biker, and he's wearing all leather, and he wears all leather because he lives in this old castle. It's like Bridgerton without the glamour or the sex. And he lives in this old, like, dilapidated castle, and he dresses in leather because he can't afford to heat it. So he came up with, of course, because necessity is the mother of invention, but the inventions aren't always great. He devised this whole arsenal of electrically heated clothing, but it was so impractical because everything had to be plugged in. So now you're walking around your castle with like 200 yards of shaky extension cord. But he smelled like garlic because he believed that garlic was good for him. So he had literally like 10 cloves of garlic in every pocket. And there's a lot of pocket in the motorcycle gear. And he shows up, and I dealt in eccentricity. All of my people were characters. That was the point. This guy is the most character-y character I'd ever met because he had this amazing accent, and he held himself like royalty, but you could tell he was down on his luck because everything was coming apart. So we set up this whole thing, and I'm terrified because I know that the stakes are high, And, you know, I almost killed Dave with Kmart the Magician, so I'm already, the staff is a little bit suspect of me. But he comes on, and you saw it happen. Dave said later it was like putting his hand into a toaster.
Oh my, seriously?
Seriously. He said it was so dangerous that luckily he pulled his hand out in time. Otherwise, he would have been really badly injured. But here's the funny part. For some reason, I get all these Letterman clips from a guy named Don Giller, who's the unofficial archivist of everything Letterman, and he has digitized every episode from the morning show through the end of CBS. And anytime I need a clip, I email him, and 4 minutes later, I get a WeTransfer link. He's amazing, and you love him. But anyway, he sent me 2 segments, and the second segment was 11 days later. Apparently, we had Captain Seddon back because we hadn't given him enough time, but I think we did. But he stayed in his hotel room. He never left.
He never left the room?
He never left the room. I think he was so happy to have heat.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically said, no, I was here to do one thing, and that is the thing that I came to do. So I waited for you to call, and here I am. And back he came. And it's just, you know, that's TV gold. It's sort of you set it up, and Dave knocks it down. And that was when my job was just, you know, it was so wonderful and gratifying when you can be involved in creating such pure comedy like that. It doesn't get any better.
Really quick, we have to go, but I got to ask this. What was the pressure like, though, Madeleine? Like, how many segments would you have to turn, like, in a season?
There was no real number. Probably I was doing like 2 to 3 a week. But, you know, it would depend. I was like the one that if they couldn't get a really big celebrity, they would all of a sudden, in the heat of the moment, now that there's panic, it would be like, Madeleine, what do you have? And I'd be like, well, Kmart hasn't been on in 8 weeks. And no, we don't want Kmart. I've got Bev Tanner, the baking lady, who we can talk about next time because she was amazing. And then they go, no cooking. And I'd be like, well, I've got this guy in London
that has electric clothes.
Has some very dangerous clothing.
Well, Minnesota, you've been doing it. Continue to do it. Support our friend Madeleine. Madeleine, we'll see you next month, my love.
Okay, darling. You look great.
Thank
Keep
you,
up
sweet.
the haircut.
Thank you. Check out
Saturday.
Saturday.
For you guys, it's 7 o'clock on my YouTube channel, which is Matt in the Kitchen on YouTube.
What Madeleine did, I don't even need to say anything more. She did it right there. MattInTheKitchen.com and Matt in the Kitchen on YouTube. We're going to take a break. We'll wrap things up when we come back. Back in a moment. Back in a moment. My wife. I love her. Welcome back. Don't forget to sign up to be a part of the Jason Show virtual audience. Go to the Jason Show Facebook page. You can find it just by searching Jason Show TV. And click the link at the top of the page. Sign up for a certain day, and you will join Kendall and me as part of the show. We're going to take a break. We'll be back to wrap things up after these messages. Back in a moment. It's getting real tense in the studio right about now. Welcome back. Kendall joins me again. I just got an alert on Facebook.
What?
Yeah, which I should never read emails during the show, but I got an alert that today is the 1-year anniversary of our first at-home Facebook show. Because remember, the Jason Show was kind of on the shelf for the first couple months of the pandemic because all the resources, understandably so, went to the news side of our organization.
Mm-hmm.
So we started doing little Facebook shows live. Today was the anniversary of the first one.
Really? Today?
Yeah.
That was a year ago?
According to Facebook, I don't know if Mark Zuckerberg's lying to me, but I mean, it's right there. So
wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Today's the 1-year anniversary. And it seems like a long time, but then it doesn't seem like a long time. You know,
it's true.
I remember doing all of those home shows.
Right. I remember you had these different systems we were all going to try to use, and just like people at home using Zoom for the first time, you're like.
Yeah, we produced. I mean, it's crazy. We produced those at-home shows with my iPad.
Right.
I'm not kidding. It's not a joke. The entire Jason show was on my iPad.
It's a very important iPad.
Now it's in this box right here. That's going to do it for us. If you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, you go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you that you're doing it wrong. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.